So, rationalising the denominator, what do we mean by that? Rationalising means making a number a rational number, i.e. not an irrational number. Okay, irrational number being a surd in this context, and the denominator of a fraction is the number on the bottom. So we know we've succeeded when we've got a number on the bottom that is not a surd. How do we get rid of this surd on the bottom? We need to multiply it, or the easiest way is to multiply it by itself. If we multiply the bottom by root 2, we must also multiply the top by root 2 because we cannot change the value of the fraction. So we must multiply by root 2 over root 2 because then that is just the same as multiplying by 1. So we're not changing the fraction value. So let's have a look at what happens. If we do 8 multiplied by root 2, we get 8 lots of root 2. Root 2 multiplied by root 2. If you multiply two surds together, you get them multiplied together under the surd, which is square root 4. What is the square root of 4? That is 2. Okay, by definition, root 2 by root 2 multiplied by root 2 gives us 2. Then we look at what we can cancel here. And 8 is a multiple of 2. So we've got a multiple of 2 on top and bottom. So we're going to divide them both by 2. And our final answer is 4 root 2. If we look at the second type of question that comes up commonly, it looks as follows. So we get something which looks like that. Just make sure this is separate on the right hand side. Now, if we just multiply by root 2 on the bottom, we're not going to get rid of the surd, because we're going to get, if we multiplied both these by root 2, we're going to get a root 2 that stays on the bottom here. So we need to use a clever technique from our difference of two squares, and you will see why this works in a second. So we want to make it look the same as the original denominator, but we flip the sign. So the plus between them becomes a minus. And as always, it must be the same on top and bottom, because it must have a value of 1. So then what does that give us? Well, on the top, 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times minus root 2 is minus 3 root 2. And then this is effectively the same as expanding out a double bracket. So let's just have a look at that. So we've got 1 plus root 2 multiplied by 1 minus root 2. This is just the denominator of our fraction. 1 by 1 is 1. 1 by minus root 2 is minus root 2. 1 by plus root 2 is plus root 2. And then we've got plus root 2 multiplied by minus root 2. And we know that root 2 by root 2 gives us 2. 1's positive and 1's negative, so it gives us minus 2. If we simplify this, those two cancel out, and it's just 1 minus root 2. 1 minus 2. So we get minus 1 on the bottom. So when that's fully simplified, we get minus 1 there. So if we then continue to simplify, so we've gone from 3 minus 3 root 2 over minus 1. If you divide by minus 1, you can flip the sign on all of your terms. So it'd be minus 3 plus 3 root 2. So the technique is we multiply by some fraction which is the same on top and bottom. So here it was root 2 over root 2. Here it's 1 minus root 2 over 1 minus root 2. So it must be the same on top and bottom because it must have a value of 1. And then you're looking for something which, when they multiply together with your original denominator, it gives you a number which is not a surd. Not a surd. Comes out as a normal number. Comes out as 2 there. And in this case comes out as minus 1. We'll do one more example where it's a bit trickier. So if we scroll down the page and we'll look at root 3 minus 2. So what are we going to multiply by? Well, when we've got two terms in our denominator, we want it to look the same. So the two terms are the same, but the sign flips. So it goes from a minus here, or one of the signs flips. It goes from a minus here to a plus here. And we have the same thing on the top. When we multiply that top together, we get 4 lots of root 3, 4 root 3, plus 4 lots of 2, over the top of root 3 times root 3 is 3, minus 2 root 3, plus 2 root 3, minus 4. Just expanding, all I've done there is just expanded that out as if it were a set of double brackets. So root 3 times root 3 is 3, minus 2 times root 3, minus 2 root 3, plus 2 times root 3, plus 2 root 3, and plus 2 times minus 2 there. So that's all I've done in that example there. Then we simplify. You'll see that we've got a minus 2 root 3 and a plus 2 root 3, so they can cancel out. So then we've got 4 root 3 plus 8 on the top. And on the bottom we've got 3 minus 4. So it's 4 root 3 plus 8 over minus 1, which equals minus 4 root 3 minus 8.